Chosen one, a great source of strength is awakening within you. But before placing it into your hands, I had to train you deeply enough that you would know how to preserve it, use it, and direct it with wisdom. This is why your journey has often felt heavier than you could explain. For you were not being prepared for a shallow life or a path filled only with pleasant things. I allowed you to pass through slower seasons, prolonged silences, and battles that only you could understand. Not to weaken you, but to build within you a foundation strong enough to carry the greater things that are about to be entrusted to you. Strength without maturity can wound both the one who possesses it and those nearby. So I never hurry to place something precious into a heart still governed by anger, pride, or the need to prove itself. The years when you thought you were being held back were actually the years when I was quietly teaching you how to master yourself. You once looked at closed doors and believed that you had been rejected. But many of those doors were shut in order to protect what was growing within you. Had you entered too soon, you might have handed your value over to people who did not know how to honor it. Used your abilities in service of goals that would have left you increasingly exhausted, or mistaken the attention of others for the genuine calling upon your life. I know you grieved when plans that seemed certain suddenly dissolved, when close relationships slowly became distant, and when you had to begin again with very little strength remaining. Yet it was through those moments that you learned not every invitation is an opportunity. Not every form of recognition comes from a healthy place. And not everyone who approaches you has the right to walk beside you until the end. I separated you from noise so that you could hear something deeper. Because no one can carry great influence while allowing every outside opinion to control their direction. There were days when you felt alone, even while surrounded by many people. Because what was happening within you was difficult to explain. You watched others live more easily, move forward more quickly, and receive things for which you were still waiting. And you wondered what you had done wrong. But, my beloved, the difference in your journey was never evidence that you had been forgotten. The more a structure must withstand powerful winds, the deeper its foundation must be laid. While you thought you were being buried, I was placing you in depth so that you could take root. While you thought no one could see you, I was releasing you from dependence upon applause. While everything seemed to be moving too slowly, I was building within you the patience that would later allow you to remain still, see clearly, and make wise choices when others panic in the midst of change. The strength I am speaking of is not the ability to control others, force circumstances to obey your will, or compel people to acknowledge your position. True strength begins with authority over your own responses. It is present when you are insulted, but refuse to let anger determine your words. When you experience failure, but do not turn one fall into a sentence over your entire future. And when others doubt you, but you continue doing what is right without arguing. It is the ability to enter a space filled with anxiety without absorbing its confusion. To preserve clarity when people around you are being swept away by fear, and to speak words that build at the very moment when others only wish to criticize. A truly strong person does not need to make others feel small. Their presence reminds those around them that they, too, can rise. I used the pressures of your past to teach you discipline, because power without discipline quickly becomes a burden. You learned not to act merely because emotions were rising, not to make major decisions in moments of despair, and not to promise what you could not fulfill. You also learned that refusing something attractive may require more courage than accepting it, and that waiting for the right time may demand more strength than pursuing the first opportunity that appears. Those lessons once frustrated you, but they have helped you become someone who cannot easily be purchased through praise, who does not quickly abandon principles for temporary gain, and who does not lose direction simply because everyone nearby has chosen another road. There will be places you enter where the atmosphere begins to change, not because you display what you possess, but because the peace within you is stable enough for others to feel it. You will speak, and your words will carry weight because they were not born from impulse, but from years of learning how to listen, observe, and take responsibility. You will make decisions that create movement because you no longer choose from fear of being left behind or from the need to be liked. Some people will come to you when they are confused, not because you have every answer, but because you have learned how to remain clear-minded in the presence of uncertainty. What I awaken within you will be recognized through the way you strengthen, protect, build, and make the places you enter better than they were before. And so, as your influence grows, you must remain close to humility. Do not forget the days when you longed for someone to listen, so that when others come to you, you will not dismiss their stories. Do not forget what it felt like to be overlooked, so that when you are given authority to choose, you will not treat those without a voice coldly. Do not allow coming success to make you believe you are greater than anyone else. For the greatest gift is not standing above many people, but becoming mature enough to take responsibility for the influence you create. If you use strength to take revenge upon the past, you will remain controlled by the past in another form. But if you use it to open roads, heal what has been wounded, and protect what is right, your life will become a place where others discover hope. You do not need to hurry to prove that you are ready. Genuine readiness will reveal itself through the way you live each day. It is seen when you complete small responsibilities honestly, keep your word when no one is checking, and treat kindly those who cannot offer you any advantage. It is revealed when you know how to rest instead of driving yourself toward exhaustion, when you ask for help when needed, and when you admit your mistakes without shifting blame. These ordinary things are the vessel capable of holding great strength without allowing it to overflow in harmful ways. I care not only about what you are capable of doing, but also about the person you become while doing it. Now stop viewing the difficult years as evidence that your life was delayed. They were the place where your endurance was refined, discernment was formed, and compassion was deepened. You learned how to stand without guarantees, preserve dignity while being misunderstood, and begin again when events did not unfold according to your expectations. These things made you capable of carrying more without being easily led astray by what you carry. You are no longer someone who merely prays for circumstances to change. You are becoming someone stable enough to help create change. Michael, I am reminding you that what is awakening is not meant to make you frightening, but trustworthy. Your strength will not be measured by how many people bow before you, but by how many people can stand more upright after encountering you. It will not be measured by how successfully you impose your will, but by how faithfully you preserve integrity when you possess the power to choose. Enter the new season calmly. Keep your mind clear, and let everything you do be guided by a worthy purpose. You were trained not because I wanted you to suffer, but because I knew that something great could be held safely only by someone who had learned self-mastery. Now you are approaching the time when you will use the very things that once caused you pain to bring restoration. Use the silence that once covered you to speak words of weight. And use your different path to open the way for others who are still searching for a path out of darkness. You have outgrown the boundaries of your present environment, and the limitations that once had the power to contain you are no longer suitable for what I am preparing to reveal. This is why everything around you has suddenly begun to feel narrow, even though no obvious outward event may have occurred. Familiar conversations no longer nourish you as they once did. Old habits are beginning to exhaust you, and places that once felt safe now make you feel as though you are being diminished. Do not quickly assume that you are ungrateful or impatient. What you are sensing is a sign of growth. A garment that once fit well becomes tight as you grow, and a space that once protected you can become restrictive if you insist on remaining after its season has ended. I am expanding your life, not so that you will despise where you began, but so that you will have enough room to receive what is new. The tension within you does not necessarily mean that something is wrong. Sometimes it is the feeling that arises when something new is drawing you forward, while familiar things are still trying to keep you where you are. You know change is necessary, yet you fear losing what once gave you stability. I understand that conflict. I know you have grown accustomed to tolerating what no longer fits, merely because you do not want to disappoint anyone. Many times you persuaded yourself that you could adapt a little longer, remain patient a little longer, and continue reducing your desires in order to preserve everything as it was. But there are moments when staying is no longer faithfulness. It becomes delay before the invitation to grow. I do not want you to destroy everything in haste, but neither do I want you to use caution as a reason to remain motionless before a door that has already been opened. The space I am creating for you may begin with endings. Certain plans will no longer progress. Some relationships will naturally grow distant, and things you once believed were necessary may suddenly lose their attraction. Do not panic when you feel the old loosening from your hands. Some things must be moved away so that your hands are not too full when the new gift arrives. If you cling to every role, every form of approval, and every relationship simply because it is familiar, you will have no room to enter what fits you more fully. I am not removing things to leave you in lack. I am purifying the space around you so that what is genuine can take root without being crowded by what has completed its season. Even so, I do not lead you through panic. My urgency is not a threat that you will lose every blessing because of one moment of hesitation. I know you need time to listen, consider, and discern. What I want you to avoid is allowing prolonged fear to become immobility. There is a difference between waiting for clarity and delaying because you do not wish to leave familiar ground. When you have recognized that something is no longer healthy, have seen the new door, and have repeatedly felt peace in the same direction, stop demanding endless signs merely to postpone your step. I will not abandon you along the way. You do not need the entire map before taking the first step. Light will be given for each portion of the road, and wisdom will arrive when you need to choose. You are not alone in this transition. When you stand between the old and the new, uncertainty may feel stronger than it did at the beginning. You may no longer belong fully to the former environment, yet you may not be completely established in what is coming. That in-between place is often where doubt becomes loudest. Remember that I am walking beside you through every conversation. every decision, and every night when you wonder whether you have gone too far. I will use peace to confirm what is right, recurring unrest to warn you about what must be avoided, and people of integrity to support you at the proper time. Not every form of help will appear before you move. Some hands will become visible only after you courageously leave the shore, because your first step reveals that you are truly ready. The right doors will not require you to betray your values in order to enter. A fitting opportunity may challenge you, but it will not force you to exchange peace, dignity, or honesty. Be cautious with invitations that promise too much, too quickly, and too easily without any clear foundation. During a season when you long for change, impressive promises can easily exploit your urgency. Do not allow anyone to convince you that a ritual lasting only a few seconds, a supposedly hidden secret, or vague references to powerful agencies and laboratories can guarantee wealth, houses, or a luxurious life. Such claims often prey upon financial anxiety and the desire for immediate deliverance. But truth does not need to pressure you through fear that information will soon disappear. What is healthy does not force you to click immediately, comment immediately, or surrender your trust because of unsupported promotion. I do not lead you into prosperity through illusion. I teach you to build through wisdom, discipline, honest work, and responsible decisions. Blessing is not an excuse to abandon discernment, nor is it a guarantee that every material desire will appear without process. Some open roads come through an idea you develop patiently, a skill you need to learn, an opportunity for which you must prepare seriously, or a relationship cultivated through trustworthiness. Do not despise those practical beginnings simply because they do not appear mysterious. I can use a small job to lead you toward greater responsibility, a modest income to teach you stewardship, and a limited season to build the foundation for long-term stability. What comes through clarity is not afraid of being examined. This repositioning does not concern only where you will live or what work you will do. The deeper matter is the person you are becoming in the process. You will enter a new space with a stability your former self did not possess. You will know how to say no without guilt, receive something good without doubting yourself, and take responsibility for your choices without blaming circumstances. Trials taught you not to surrender authority to passing emotions. Disappointments helped you understand that beautiful words must be accompanied by consistent action. Waiting seasons made you deep enough not to chase every shining door. This is an inner wealth no one can take from you, and it will help you preserve outward blessings when they are entrusted to you. You are no longer the person who began this journey. The outward appearance of your life may still seem familiar, but the way you see, respond, and evaluate what is worthy has changed. You once returned easily to old places because of an apology that was never accompanied by transformation. You once accepted less because you feared nothing better would come. You once believed unlimited endurance was proof of love. But now I am teaching you that compassion does not eliminate boundaries. Forgiveness does not require you to return to cycles of harm. And humility does not mean denying your value. The new version of you will not become cold. You will simply become wiser about where love should be placed. Because you have changed. You cannot continue living forever within every pattern of the place where you began. This does not mean you must sever everything or deny your roots. You can appreciate what once nourished you while acknowledging that it is time to go farther. You can love those who do not understand your choices without giving them the power to stop you. You can leave peacefully without turning your departure into conflict. Let your attitude remain gentle, but your decision remain clear. Not everyone needs to understand your process, and you do not need to explain every step in order to receive permission. When you know you have prayed, reflected, and acted with integrity, continue forward without returning to argue with every voice behind you. Everything that once failed is also being placed into its proper meaning. Rejections kept you from unsuitable places. Broken plans revealed weak foundations you could not initially see. Relationships that ended taught you what needed healing before you entered more mature connections. Nothing must be called useless merely because it did not produce the result you wanted. Some seasons did not give you the reward you desired, but they gave you the wisdom you needed. That wisdom will protect you in rooms where talent alone cannot keep you standing. I do not waste your pain. I transform it into understanding so that you will not continue repeating old choices. Therefore, receive this transition through calm trust. You do not need to chase promises of instant wealth, nor must you panic and believe that one slow step will cause every good thing to disappear. Advance with clarity. Verify what you hear. Examine the motives of those who invite you, and never allow artificial urgency to replace discernment. I am leading you into a wider space, but I want you to enter with open eyes, a steady heart, and hands capable of managing what is given. The new place will not merely give you more, it will require you to become someone capable of preserving more without losing peace. My beloved, the narrowness of your present situation is not your final prison. It is merely a sign that the time has come to expand. Give thanks for what once protected you. Learn every lesson of the former place, and then move when clarity has come. I will not lead you out of one season without preparing you for the next. Support will come. Genuine opportunities will become visible, and each necessary step will be illuminated in its proper time. You do not need to force the future into existence through some secret formula. Your part is to remain awake, act honestly, and patiently build what will last. I am with you in this transition. Move forward, because what is opening is not merely a wider place in which to exist, but a life more fitting for the mature person I have quietly formed within you. The trials you endured were the furnace preparing you for a responsibility greater than the temporary comfort you once desired. My beloved, I know there were moments when you looked upon your days of pressure and wondered whether you had done something wrong, whether repeated difficulties were signs that you had been forgotten. But I want you to look back through another light. Not every weight comes to crush you. Some weights are permitted so that your shoulders may become strong, so that steadfastness will become more than a word and grow into a quality tested over time. What I am building within you could not have been formed through pleasant days alone. There is a kind of trust that matures only when you keep walking without seeing results. Preserve integrity when you could easily choose a simpler road, and continue guarding kindness even while you yourself need support. You once believed that pressure was punishment, but in truth it has been revealing a strength you never knew you possessed. Just as a precious stone must be polished on many sides before the light within can be reflected, you also had to pass through friction that caused what no longer belonged to fall away. Impatience was replaced by the ability to wait. Fear of failure was replaced by courage to try again. The desire for everyone's approval gradually gave way to the peace of someone who knows why they are living. Those changes did not happen in one night. But every time you refused to give up, a new part of you became stronger. Therefore, do not look only at your present exhaustion and forget the powerful person being formed through these very days. There were times when you felt you had only enough strength to hold on to a very thin thread of hope. You no longer had long prayers, no energy to explain your emotions, and no words beyond a sigh. I was there. I never considered that weakness a failure. On some days, the fact that you still rose, completed what needed to be done, and refused to allow pain to make you bitter was already a great victory. You do not need to appear as someone who never grows weary. True strength is not concealing every wound, but knowing that you can bring your fragile places before me without fear of judgment. When you believed, you were only holding on weakly. I was still holding you through a strength far greater than your own ability. Recently, you have sensed a tension that is difficult to name, as though something were moving beneath the surface of your life. There were moments when you felt the need to pause before a decision, change a route, or avoid a place without being able to explain why. Do not quickly dismiss every such feeling as imagination. Many times I have guided you through very gentle promptings, through uneasiness appearing at the proper moment, or through a door that unexpectedly closed. Something you once considered an inconvenience was actually a necessary delay protecting you from an unhealthy situation. There were appointments cancelled, plans changed, or connections that naturally faded, and you grieved because you could not understand why. Yet sometimes those very changes were the protective boundary I placed around you. Protection does not always appear dramatically. Often, it is only a thought that causes you to return and check something. A delay that makes you leave a place later than expected. Or a rejection that keeps you from entering a relationship that would have exhausted you. You saw only the inconvenience of the moment, while I saw everything that might have happened had you continued. Therefore, I redirected you without explaining every detail. I closed doors you desperately wanted to enter. Not because I did not want you to experience joy, but because behind their attraction were things that did not align with your peace or purpose. One day, when you look back, you will understand that many disappointments were actually moments when you were being preserved. The most important battles surrounding you did not always make a sound. Some forms of protection unfolded in silence, where harmful intentions were restrained before they could touch you. Some roads were altered, conversations never occurred, and plans against you dissolved without your knowledge. You are still standing not merely because of your own effort. There were days when I strengthened your steps as your energy nearly disappeared, placed peace in your mind when confusion tried to enter, and sent help through people who seemed to appear by coincidence. If you could see every moment when you were shielded, you would no longer call your survival accidental. This does not mean you must live in fear or search for danger everywhere. I do not want you to become tense, suspicious of others, or constantly prepared for the worst. My protection is given so that you can live more freely, not more fearfully. You need only remain awake. Respect healthy boundaries, and not disregard the peaceful warning I place within you. When something repeatedly robs you of clarity, requires you to betray your values, or pulls you back toward habits that once wounded you, have enough courage to step away. You do not need to remain in every circumstance merely to prove that you are strong. Sometimes the greatest wisdom is knowing how to leave before peace is stolen. At the same time, Someone is quietly observing the way you live, and their trust in you is growing day by day. They may not speak about it, offer you great praise, or reveal that they have been paying attention for a long time. Yet, they have seen how you rose after moments when continuing seemed impossible. They witnessed your sincerity in circumstances where you could easily have chosen deception to protect your own interests. They recognized your patience when you were misunderstood, the calmness you tried to preserve amid injustice, and the faithfulness you demonstrated when no one was present to reward you. The things you believed no one noticed have actually left a deep impression. That trust was not built through one impressive moment, but through many small choices made over time. This person does not trust you because you have never made a mistake, but because they recognize that you take responsibility when you are wrong. They do not rely upon you because you always possess every answer, but because they see that you do not pretend to understand what you do not know. They do not evaluate you through a perfect appearance, but through the consistency between your words and the way you live. This kind of trust cannot be purchased through promises or created through display. It is formed only when a person's character has been tested long enough to become clear. You may not yet know who this person is or where their trust will lead. They may be someone who introduces you to a new opportunity, entrusts you with an important responsibility, or defends you in a room where you are not present. They may become a companion, a mentor, or a connection that helps you enter a door you could not previously open alone. But do not try to guess, and do not begin treating everyone as though they were merely a means to your success. Continue living sincerely as you have been living. What created this trust was not your effort to impress, but the character you preserved, even when you did not know anyone was watching.